welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back, one. Welcome back. Today, we are receiving more troubling news coming out from the stock market, and it has caused many American people to be very worried and cautious. As of right now, we are seeing more than half of U.S. companies are preparing to announce a massive layoff within the next couple months here, according to a study that was done by the PwC. This is a very troubling sign as the Fed continue to enforce and reaffirm their tighter position with more interest rate on the rise. Companies are taking a really precautious step by cutting their workforce. This is just the beginning. So a study was done by PwC survey, and they have asked more than 700 executive and board members across the United States. And out of that, they have found more than 52% of respondents have already enacted hiring freeze. 4 out of 10 have resigned a job or asked signing bonuses for new hire. This is troubling, folks, and roughly have started laying people off or are preparing to cut headcount. Are we seeing the bigger picture here? Even though the U.S. economy has added more than 528,000 jobs in the month of July, recession fear are being reignited by these executives. And right now, the American people are concerned of being the next victim in line to be laid off by their employer. They say the grim number underscore how dramatically sentiment has changed from a year ago, when employers were handwriting over losing staff amidst the so-called Great Resignation, when employees left corporations in masses. Now it is no longer the Great Resignation. It might be called the Great Layoff Season. So a lot of stuff are coming out. Recession concern has actually dragged the crude oil price down dramatically because people are fearing if people are unemployed and are being laid off by their employer, and they don't have money or anything in hand, how can they afford to purchase gasoline if they are not working? And we are seeing this new stigma being created by these executives saying, hey guys, I think a recession is coming, and we are seeing more signs indicating that the U.S. will enter a recession by the end of this year or by the end of next year. Fear are being recreated and reignited. And we have exited our technical bear market last week, and now we are re-entering back into our technical bear market. As of right now, gasoline price continue to fall in New Jersey and around the nation. We have seen gasoline price reaching under $4 national average. That was phenomenon. That was crazy. Right now, gasoline is declining. And we have seen crude oil have been on a decline. And this is just the beginning. People are fearing of the possibility of a recession because if people are unemployed, there's no point in purchasing gasoline. But we have seen significant investment from Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett just received a permission to buy up to 50% of Occidental Petroleum share. He will be the largest shareholder in Occidental Petroleum. He had invested billion and billion of dollars into this company. He believes that crude oil will replace everything because right now, as ongoing war with Ukraine and Russia, actually worsening the energy crisis in Europe and even affecting the global economy. We are seeing the Pacific region tension are flaring up with China sending militarized fighter jet and warship into Taiwan Strait. They are fear of the possibility of a war coming. And Buffett seems to say, hey guys, we are buying up all Occidental share. Right now, he said he just received the permission from the board of the board and say, hey, you can purchase up to 50% of oil giant Occidental Petroleum. And we have seen OXY jump significantly, 10% on the news to close at $71 per share. And this is just the beginning, folks. So Berkshire even filed, and now he is buying more and more of Occidental Petroleum. Move forward. Recession concern are mounting, and just recently Starbucks say, hey guys, we are letting you go. Chief Operating Officer role is now dismissed from operation. Starbucks is planning to cut and reconstruct their financial infrastructure. They are seeing something. A recession concern is mounting. Starbucks will eliminate its chief operating officer role at the end of its current fiscal year as part of a broader restructuring at the world's largest coffee house company. Why are we seeing this? Recession fear. This is how the company managed to conserve their cash balance sheet. And while trying to roll through this recession fear, this is just the beginning, folks. They are more on the rise. Just recently, Google just now say, hey guys, we are extending our hiring freeze, and this is our new culture. We are seeing slow hiring or no hiring at all. And the worst case of all is that employees are being laid off by their employer at a significant rate. Layoffs are trending in the market, and many companies are now following this. Why would they not? So recently, Google say, hey, we just extended our hiring freeze as part of overall plan to slow hiring through the rest of 2022. And Google will continue to hire for critical role, only role that is critical to the need of Google. However, the new hiring policy has led to what one anonymous Google told the publication was a real vibe change with more pressure on productivity and efficiency. Companies might begin to use this as a major factor in determining whether or not to lay off an individual. This is just a beginning of how CEO are now pressuring their company to say, hey, you have to work up and boost up your productivity and efficiency, or we're going to lay you off as a result of this. There's still more stuff coming along, as right now recession fear are still on the rise, folks, and people are just preparing for this mindset. Let's look forward. Stripe has laid off employees behind TaxJar, a tax compliance startup it acquired last year. This is just the beginning. Tech companies are laying off people at an accelerating rate. And Stripe has laid off some of the employees who support TaxJar, a tax compliance. That's what we are seeing. So they have reduced around 45 to 55 jobs, and this is represent at least a portion of whom were invited to take 30 days to apply to internal job at Stripe. Things are not looking good within the tech sector, and let's look forward to our recent one, which really shocked many people. Wayfair say, hey guys, we are going to lay off around 900 jobs, which represent 5% of our workforce globally. Wayfair say, hey, inflation is hurting us and we have to conserve our cash. And that's going to save us a big chunk of money, financially speaking, and could help us survive through this sense of bear market. And then, what are my idea on this? As of right now, we are seeing the American people are more concerned of being the next victim in line to be laid off by their employer, and the trend is continuing. Layoffs are sounding alarm. We are now seeing more companies are now adopting this policy, and more companies will follow and continue to follow, and might even repeat their policy by reinforcing more layoffs, and this is just what we are seeing. The market is getting tighter as job scarcity is getting tighter too. This is just the beginning of a bear market. And we are preparing our mindset for something worse to happen because the Fed say, hey, we do not know whether or not our decision will lead the U.S. into a recession. But our main goal as of now is to tame inflation at the price of a recession. So I want to just be aware of something going on because we are continuing to follow all these updates coming out from the market. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.